Thank you, Charles, for his nice introduction. It's not quite a minute. Just open the bottle of water so that I have a little bit, because I apologize. My voice had disappeared last week, and I managed to get it. At least I get it will be strong enough for this presentation. So, first of all, a warm welcome from my side. Happy to see you. And of course, happy to talk to you about color and beauty and, um, yeah, optimistic vibe. It's something we don't see so much at the moment. So, let me just bring to you what we are talking about. I will be talking about the colors summer 27, an update on what we see has, which color stories have evolved, which color stories are really more in the foreground, and then we go to winter 27, 28. So our topic for summer, or our keyword, was dichotomy, and it's about the divisions in society, divisions in our way of seeing, looking to the world. Are we optimistic? Are we pessimistic? How much do we differ from each other? What is there? So what we like very much, and we still stick to this text, the opening sentence from Charles Dickens, a story of a tale of two cities. About it was the first of times, it was the best of times. I think we all know this super mixed feelings, very challenging, very compelling for us to stand and to resist to all what is going on. Also with stories around our profession, whatever it might be, losing jobs, facing an uncertain future. So, and I have to say this will continue. So this is not over. It's will stay with us with feelings of some uncertainty. The tissue of togetherness is broken. We try hard to mend, but on the other side, we also try hard to stick to our own bubble, to only listen to what we know, what we hear, what we feel. So it's a very difficult time. And we felt the need, which is was at the end, I will speak a little bit about the creative area we have newly established. But I heard just one sentence, or somebody told me, oh, this here, it's just beautiful and it lifts me up. So this is what one of the spirits I want to provide also with our coloring. It's really important to lift spirits up, to bring a smile to the faces of the people we address with our product offers, and also ourselves. When working on colors, sometimes I really cannot help myself. I have a better spirit after doing 3 or 4 or 5 hours of work in thinking about color, how to make combinations, how to see color, which facet of a color I want to underline. It's just inspiring, comforting, and it's just beautiful. And we need these feelings more than ever. The ones of you who already are familiar with Performance Colors by Nora Kühner, it's, as mentioned by Charles, is a collaboration of Performance Days and myself. We started in 2016. The special thing about our colors forecasting over the last years has been that we say, okay, we define color spaces, but or color stories, but each story has a certain tone, a certain core, which is built by 3 colors each. So you see here, the 8 stories in the overview, and their core colors, the core colors which set the tone. And then we have later on in the single stories, we have additional colors for contrasting, for grounding the stories. But these tones you see here are the ones who are the drivers of a story. So all in or stand alone. All in is much better. Only together we can solve what is going on around. We cannot fight everyone against each other. So we cannot fight all alone. It's better to unite. And so we thought our first story, we want to really empower people to get together, to look across boundaries and to look about beyond differences and get in and combine or join our forces to struggle the everyday challenges. Okay, so very optimistic mood, very warm and dense, the atmosphere, and really about breaking everything and just enjoying being there. So very warm red, really pinkish pink, so really the essence of pink, and then the turquoise. And here just some examples for how graphics can look like, and they like especially the stools, which I found outdoors in Portland last April. I don't know why we were standing there. Maybe it's about going, whoever wants can take these. But I think this is an example for showing, expressing, we have to get together. And three are better than one. So create and connect is for us a big topic. I've been speaking over the last month so much with designers, not only designers, but especially designers and developers. Where are we going to? And a lot of people, a young designer from Austria told me, Nora, at the moment we all feel kind of lost. And this is also because it's sometimes very frustrating in these days to do product development and come up with fresh ideas who nobody wants. Young people in New York told me after my presentation, Nora, sometimes I have a feeling I'm not heard. Nobody is interested in my mind. I should just deliver something and then go away and do the next thing. It's really, if we don't give space to creativity, time to experiment, in these days where a lot of things change, where we are confronted with new fabrics, with new ideas, new regulations and everything, we really have to get this spirit back of experimentation, trying to find out what can we do, what is the best product offer possible, not what is the cheapest one. I know, I just had a lengthy chat with someone who said, yeah, but if we in Europe just do things in a more proper way, maybe, but the other countries, hey, this will lead to nowhere if we just always do finger pointing. So we do not finger point here. The story is a really comfortable story, outdoor story. It's very much liked by the users of our color forecast. And the only thing which is disturbing and bringing some power and energy is this slightly acid yellow, the number 9. This is really something which adds spirit. Otherwise, this would be a story rather calm and cozy, but we want to disturb the coziness. So this is a strong story. We see it also not only in the outdoors, but also for body wear, for well-being sports, and more. Here's some graphic inspiration, play of light and shadow, of transparency and looking through, but maybe around the corner there is something. So about discoveries, about finding out what can I do with what is already there, not only thinking about doing things completely new, but reconsider the existing and taking it to new heights. As mentioned before, we like to live in our bubbles. Of course, we like the wide open space when we are at the beach or on top of the mountains, but down in the valley or down in the city, it's more or less we live in our bubble, and we have to find a balance. We have to go out, we have to meet, to talk to each other, to really feel connected. And so this story is about a kind of very open spirit, very lightweight, to really get off the burden of everyday life, to take people to new places with a very inspiring feeling. It's you can look through, you can recognize already there is something. I want to go to this new place. I overcome my feelings of fear and anxiety. So a very cozy story, nevertheless, especially when you see it here or over there in the creative area. We also show this in much bigger patches with colors, these colors, and they are very powerful despite their really reduced charm, I would say. Here, a perfect illustration of what the spirit is like in this story from my colleague from Lithuania. She's always very strict, usually, in her graphics, very, very precise and small scale geometries in rigid order. But this time she felt also the need, because I don't give them a briefing, they can do what they want. If I don't like it, I would say, no, that's not the feeling of the story. But she had exactly, this is exactly the spirit, becoming lighter, look through and shift around, morphing from one color to the next, or from one shape to another shape, and building new worlds with a certain depth, like here. We can look through, we can look further, and we have to make use of this, that we can look further and can discover what is around the next corner. Broken glamour is, I think, is self-explaining. As said before, we all want to keep what we have. We don't want to move along or not further. The old was so nice, and hey, we can do nice things today again. Maybe different, a different niceness, I would call it. Yeah? New aesthetics are not per se, yes, they can be nice, but it takes time to get familiar with what is new and to really find out what can I make with new things, and to bring it. Will we be able to have a glamour, to create a glamour like this, so that in 20 years maybe, or 40 years, people say, hey, the glamour of this time in the 21st century, it's great. It's something which inspires maybe the next the generation in 20 years. So don't shy away. Whoa, it's lovely to see this here. You see a very nice story, a little bit inspired by the, I would say we called it internally in the team, in the trend team, a little bit inspired by, by some islands in the sun and whatever, just to show that we admire and appreciate that, but we have to continue developing it further, taking it to the next steps and creating our own traditions. So Summer Haze, a well-beloved story. Of course, it's what we all, most of us like, summer feelings, a perfect day at the beach or somewhere in a remote place out in the sun. You hear the sound of the waves and you feel very much at home, and you enjoy. So it's a really earthy story with the colors all taken by nature, and very warm feelings, and really cozy, especially like with graphics. Again, here you have with the graphic on the right-hand side, you have a little bit the spirit of broken glamour, but again, it's still the perfect illustration for our holiday feelings and the feelings we are out of everything and we can enjoy. And so we see this as a story which is perfect for any kind of swimwear, but also we can see this in outdoor spaces with, because it's also very, these earthy colors are really fitting the outdoor spirit. renewed vigor is actually transgressing the borders of sports. So it's also, we have a lot of people who tell us they like to use it in fashion and in everyday clothing because it's really a very inspiring color setting. So very strong, very much inspired by the late 1950s, early 1960s in colors. And so the strong dark green, the turquoise, and the burgundy red, they set the tone. And the other colors, the smaller patches, they are just bringing into this spirit this kind of cozy feeling by underlining some of the shades, but the red is like a flash of energy and attention in the middle. Again, here also very precise two-tone graphics and patterns, very strict, but also with slightly variation, a little bit of movement in there. So we move on. It's a story which is very heavy in color spirit, so it's really keeping you to the ground. But on the other side, you see here with the patterns and also the layering, the topic of transparency and shadows also brings in some movement. The promise of the new, we are always promised everything. Tomorrow for traveling to Mars for the weekend, taking whatever challenge is up there in work, in living in a digitalized world. I would like to underline that it's also necessary to think of the fact that we are still physical beings, and I have no certain certification of the fact that we will be avatars only or cyborgs within the next 10, 20 years. So let's think about reality, a topic which I will discuss in my coming presentations, because I think we need to reinvent reality, to find new stories for what we are going to have. It's not all digital, so this story is accepting technology of tools as something which opens new possibilities, but on the other hand side, it's also, we have to combine it with our physical world and the physical needs of human beings and what we need to thrive in terms of emotion, feelings, and thinking. So very strong colors. I know some of them are hard to dye, to get the fastnesses, the necessary ones. Nevertheless, we have to show it. We have to, because our color feelings certainly have changed over the last years. We all are used to seeing very, very strong colors through the screen. All this light in the screen brings us to a new perception of colors, I would say. And we want to see it in the natural, real world too. And as said, the graphics just underline. It's bringing together latest technology, the needs of human beings, but also the needs of nature. It's not just making everything to build and to construct. It's also really, protect our winters, protect our planet. As I said this morning to someone, hey, it's not about being a good human or something like that. It's just our business is based on nature. People going out to nature, doing sports, whatever kind of sports, whether they're running, sailing, mountaineering, whatever. So, and if we don't take care of the planet, our business is destroyed. And we all know that with indoor sports and also computer gaming, we will never make that much money when it's really about offering sports equipment and clothing for the real world. And therefore we need we need this planet. And this should be also an idea for the people who take care of the numbers. And here just some easygoing graphics from my colleague Gabi Altruck from Germany. She loved the story from the first beginning. And we see that also the users of our color forecast are very keen on this story. It's a movement, it's about joyful playing around. And so this is something we see very strong for the season summer 27. And then, of course, it's about luminescence. Sometimes I'm asking myself, do we really think we can live without color? If you look to the people, and also if I look around here, a little bit more color would be nice. And the luminescence of color and this bringing to a shimmer to the world and to our mood. So this is a color story really promoting these shimmering landscapes in the sun or with the water reflecting the light, and really very lightful and a joyful story with this strong sienna number 30, and then a coral red and the soft violet. Okay, so this is our story here. And now we jump to, the next season, winter. Protect our winters. All is breaking up. Maybe next year there will be even less snow, even less ice. What are we doing then in winters? I'm a passionate skier, I have to admit. So this is something that's really bothering me. By the way, most of the pictures, if I don't indicate someone from some photographer from Shutterstock or so, all the pictures are mine. So, yeah. And we were discussing here some reflections. This is very new. We work since mid of September on winter 27, 28. And we discussed very much the problem of how doing forecast. How do we do forecast in this world? You cannot forecast anything, not even tomorrow, with people running crazy. And so it's really hard. Nevertheless, we see certain tendencies. We are very, very much aware of what's going on, and we discuss this and see what we are feeling and exchange with people. And and if we only wait, like my colleague says here, Felicia Taricone from Italy, waiting generates anxiety. The longer you wait, the more anxious you will be. So sometimes it's really just get out of the boiling water and just start changing. So therefore, our keyword for the season, and I would never have imagined what this word created in inspiration with my colleagues. One day morning in August, I was out in the park and doing some running. And I thought, stranded, we are stranded, and the word never left me. And so I said, okay, this is what I see as key. We are stranded on the rocks of a complex world. So, and now, what to do? So we are outcast. We are lost, or is this feeling stranded also the start of something new? And this is really they get just this word and one or two sentences and one recommendation for a book. The book is created by Seth Nelson, photographer, The Anthropocene Illusion. And I think this sentence makes clear what it's about. While we would destroy the real thing, we seem to be creating more and more artificial or choreographed, curated versions of nature. So even the snow is no longer the natural one, it's a technical snow. So it's not artificial. What the guys, for example, of the Olympic committees and so, they call it technical snow. I know this because my husband had to deal with people from there, and the perfect term they use always is technical snow. So with technical snow, we can produce it, but even this is in danger because in the lower altitudes it won't work. So this was all what my colleagues got, and they exploded, more or less. They exploded. One of Italian ladies, she came out with about 70 pages of inspiration for this winter 77, 28. So just to show here, this was really very, very welcome. You see also here a collage which was done by Carla Bodini Belandi from Italy too. And I think this is perfect. We don't know, we shy away from going through, we are building artificial worlds. And where's our place? And I think this is exactly what we feel. So our first story is not the word stranded is not only our keyword for the season, but it's also one of the color stories. We are in the middle of finding. We are in our finding phase. And this story is the one which came very easily. Everything is swirling and moving, and like this, is it a hurricane or what is it right now? What is made landfall in Jamaica? So it's really turning everything upside down and destroying, and everything is moving through air, flying through air. It's no clear vision of what's going on. And we try to express this with these colors, a little bit dirty, a little bit grayish, not super creamy, but a very intense mood in taking us to kind of protected space, making us feel comfortable, though it's a little bit swirling. So this is our first story with the three patches, the core colors, and we will develop this story further. We know already that we will have again 8 stories, but I will be able only to show 5 of them in the first stage. So exuberance is one of a story we want definitely to touch. The mass of plastic in the world is increasing horribly to super numbers, and so we see here the plastic hyperbole versus natural beauty. So this is something we are interested in exploring. How much can we really imitate nature's beauty, and are we willing to accept this as the new reality? It's the question. As outdoors, maybe, maybe not. Then the gated reality, despite what's going on outside, hurricane, volcanic eruptions, whatever, we try to find our cozy corner and be secure, feel secure, building high walls, and really looking for a small paradise or a small angle of paradise. No changes, please. We are frozen in the vagueness of everyday life. We don't see further. And this we have to overcome. And so we see here a story born out of the love for nature, for natural colors, for very dense atmosphere, and how to learn from nature, to live and work with nature. This is something which is very important to us in design, and as developers, we should really pay more attention to that. Here we are not yet clear what will be the leading trio of the colors, the core of the colors. I assume it will be the screen and the blue and maybe one of the more earthy tones. I'm not sure. Here, my personal favorite, the time lapse. We try to, with regard to the history of mankind or humankind, We are now living in time lapse because evolution, technical advances, and so on drive us to a faster and faster pace. And you don't know how to stop. We are really pushed forward, pushed forward, pushed forward. And our brain, our body is not made for such a speed. So this is why we really struggle hard to come over and to feel good. So very interesting color story. I like this very much for any kind of sports, whether it's skiing, whether it's outdoor spirit, whether it's yoga, well-being, whatever. It can be a very strong story. I look very much forward to this color feeling, to work on that more. So, and the next one, touch the grass. Get out and feel the real thing. This is what we want to tell you. It's really about, and you see here, especially in this story, that we see a movement to more tonal color harmonies, so that we develop one color shade, so the greenish, yellowish direction with several tones which combine and very well together, and then just some soft accent colors. So this is what we see. We see this also in one or two other stories which we are currently developing. So the colors will be ready, all color stories, 8 in total. Now you have seen 5 in the early beginnings, will be ready for Portland, a functional fabric fair in Portland. I will be showing there on November 12th, I guess, all the overview of this so-called early color information for winter 27-28, which will then be developed until end of November as the complete PDF file with all the color codes, the specifications according to CSI DyeStar, Acroma, and Pantone, and Coloro. But this will be by end of November. So this said, I want to make a jump to the creative area. So one word again, closing with the color topic. Again, we want to lift up spirits with our color stories. We want to underline that color can make the difference, and color matters. And this morning I was over there at the creative area, and three of from my former masterclass of mine, 3 students came to help me at the booth or at the space, and they are all 3 from Finland, and they are such a colorful trio. It's wonderful. I think with three of them, without speaking about what they are wearing and how their color, the hair color is, they are offering the whole range of colors. And it's every time I look at them, it's just a pleasure. They are not it's not about the beauty of the young women. So it's about this colorful appearance which vibrates with energy and a good spirit, and just a pleasure to be here and to have the chance to help me at the creative area. So the creative area, I was asked by Performance Days by the beginning of the year whether we could do something which is more about inspiration, creativity, design, color, beyond numbers. And so we developed a space. I curated this, the creative area. And I invite you warmly to take a stroll around. You can just easily walk through and not check whether this is the right fabric for your next jacket you have to design or so. Just get in there and have a look at what we have prepared for you. We have as guests Beams, which is a Japanese online retailer, a very famous one. And the guy in this turquoise overall, he is also here, Shigeru. He is the chief of chief buyer of beams, and he himself is fond of our vintage down jackets, outdoor jackets, and he has brought a selection of these from the 1950s, from the 1960s, 1930s, really wonderful down jackets for several purposes, from fishermen to skier, whatever. So have a look at that powerful, colorful, nice to see. They work together with the Outdoor Recreation Archive of Utah State University. They have also brought some magazines with them, really copies of old ones, the original ones, and you can sit down there, have a look, and check what for big outdoor names you all know, or backpacking companies, what they have done 30, 40, 50 years ago. And then, of course, some of you know that I'm working a lot with students. I have my masterclass project now. This year I can celebrate 10 years of masterclass. And I do sometimes not only concept workshops, but also prototyping workshops. I'm tackling for 4 years now very much in such workshops circularity, and not about the fact shreddering, weaving a new file, but working with the outworn garments, because we have to take the spirit of our user has to change too. They have to accept that the garment they wear, and when they don't like it any longer, it's not waste. It's again a resource. And not only a resource for making new fabrics, but maybe we can do kind of waste, a new jacket, some, I don't know, some dress for your dog, don't know. But to overcome this feeling, hey, this is waste, no, I don't want to work, like a student said, hey, does that mean we can only work with this old stuff? Yes, you can make out of this old stuff, you can make new stuff. New in the sense of a new appearance, a new appeal. And so this is on show. We have some examples there. And as I mentioned before, I have also in total 4 students over there. We are not always there all the time, but we look forward to meeting you and to explain to you how it was to work with waste. Waste coming directly from the sorter, by the way, or from some very nice brands. So here, as you see, for example, this was in Finland, and where we really worked with the sorter, and we got packages, and then the first day, it was just opening the packages, looking what is going on, and then working. And I think this is exactly, when you look at this, you may say, okay, this is not very professional. But as mentioned before by Charles, the grassroots movements, or this grassroots feeling starting really from the bottom and growing is something we need. This growing spirit and awareness for using what is left over as a source, a resource for doing something new, something fresh, and not seeing it as a garbage which we throw away and think, oh, it's smelling bad, it looks bad, or whatever. So they took up the challenge, and they really enjoyed, and they did great work. And for the last picture, this is just about an exhibition I saw in New York in July in the MoMA. And it was very inspiring. They had a lab there, and I would have loved to do it here in the creative area too. Just they have had lots of bins with old fabrics in stripes, and then they had with ropes, and everybody could weave by hand. So just arranging some stripes in the way they like the people. And you see, it works. It makes people to feel creative, and they like to try out. And I wish we can find back also to some of this joy of trying out, finding new ways, spinning new ideas, and not just saving what is left over by crises and by struggling hard. This is not the spirit we need. We are sports people. We like to tackle challenges. Let's take up the challenge and form new structures, tell new stories, and find out what we can do with today's technology, with today's fabrics, with new ideas and a new thinking. Thank you very much.